Welcome back to the channel, Vertex Garden Rooms, Ollie here. Check out this mega pitched roof garden room build here in Worcester Park. Check out this absolutely massive 7.1 metre by 4.5 metre deep garden room we did with a pitched roof. This one's 2 metres away from the boundary. We've got a massive back garden here in Worcester Park in London. It's got a 4 metre high ridge from ground level and a 2.5 metre high eave. It's a fully custom built project for this customer here. It was built as a kit in the workshop, so all the wall panels pre-built, pre-insulated, and then all of the roof rafters pre-cut and brought to site. It's a real flagship build for us here at Vertex. It's turned out absolutely brilliantly. In terms of sort of metres squared, in terms of volume, it's the biggest you can go under permitted development rules. Obviously you have to be 2 metres off a boundary. So come around here, we can see the pinch point on this job is just down here. So behind this hedge, you've got a fence, and that's where we measure from. Between the fence, which you can't see, and this corner is about 2.2 metres. And then it runs out down there, so we're well within our rights to build at this height. So this Thermowood cladding is also fixed, face fixed actually, although with very small brads, 18 gauge stainless steel brads. So they're very discreet. The window trim as well is all made from the cladding, so it all matches. We've got a lovely little detail up here. So as the rainwater kind of hits the wall and runs down, there's a 15-degree back bevel on the bottoms of these pieces of cladding above the window here and above the doors. So then when the rain drips down, it doesn't sort of work its way back towards the frame. It drips straight off that front edge there and down onto the sill and down onto the ground, which is a nice little touch. Anthracite grey aluminium windows that pop open. They're top hung, so they pop open in an upwards motion. We've got anthracite grey PVC soffit and fascia to match as well. So we've got a lovely box ends detail here, guttering that runs all the way down the back into some water butts. We'll show you that in a minute. We've got some lovely aluminium bifold doors. So this one's being used as a gym and an office, and then there's a little TV in the corner as well for the kids, so they can kind of babysit and look after the kids whilst they're using the gym. I'll just pop these open. So in the summer, when it's nice and hot, office, garden. So in here we've got a massive ceiling height in here, and some amazing lighting as well. So the customer already has these lights in his kitchen up in his house, and they're zonal, so you can effectively, you can move them along this track here. You can turn, certain ones on, certain ones off, and sort of create whatever lighting or atmosphere you want in the room. These two tie beams are not just decorative, but they're structural. They're actually serving a purpose. They're keeping the building rigid and tight. So then if any wind, it doesn't move or rack in the wind, it's all nice and solid. This room in particular is actually big enough to house a golf simulator. So this room could be used as a golf simulator room. You could swing a driver in here. You've got that 3 metre height in the middle here, or plus 3, I think it's 3.2. I'll put that on the screen. I can't remember off the top of my head. But you can certainly swing a driver in here, and then on this wall you could delete the windows and have a projector screen and have all of your golf sim kit if you wanted to. Obviously in this case we've got a gym, so we've done this lovely 18mm thick 1x1 metre tile rubber floor, which effectively just holds itself down because it's so heavy. Mezzanine level, this is a nice little feature. He wanted a space, again, busy lives, they've got busy kind of work life and leisure life, so they've got to look after the kids, keep an eye on them. They can't leave them in the house because it's a big garden and they just can't leave them on their own. So we've got a mezzanine level for the kids. So the kids, there's a double mattress up there, so they can sort of have sleepovers and just chill out up there. TV in the corner as well, so the customers can have a nice little family environment. If you want to head up this ladder was also bespoke made by us. So this is a ship style ladder, effectively two I think they're 9x2s, with nice little handholds. It's all been made off-site and brought in as like a kit again, so all made in our workshop in Surrey. All these balustrade components again made off-site and brought in, and then we basically stained everything a sort of dark mahogany to finish it all off. So yeah, not big enough to stand up in, but certainly big enough to sort of crawl around in, or you could just use it as storage. So our customer here is he's 6'4" in height, so even taller than me. So he required the ceiling height for this piece of kit here as well, especially. This is a squat rack come kind of bench press rack as well, sort of it's a multi-gym effectively. He's got his plate weights behind. Obviously questions are always, well, how much can the base take? How much can your foundations take for all of this added weight, you know, because it's not just an office, it's, you know, it's a working gym in here. So I mean, there's a whole load of weight in that stack there, plus the plates, plus the steel from this beast we have right here, and the bench of course. So the base, we've basically beefed it up a little bit. We've got a deeper steel on this job, more feet, more pedestals, extra concrete, and we've also done a sandwich system. So what we've got on top of our steel, we've obviously got our usual DPM membrane, and then we've got a 12mm ply, structural ply, and then a 25mm PIR, and then our 22mm chipboard on top of that. So we've got a sandwich of material that all then gets fixed through with really long kind of anchor fixings straight into the steel. So it creates a diaphragm over the entire frame, bringing everything together, and creates a really strong floor system effectively to hold all of this weight. So the client mentioned to us when we turned up today that, because he used to work in his front room and he was staring at a wall all day, works from home 5 days a week. So he then was just using this as a gym, and it was only meant to be a gym and mezzanine and a little kind of TV area for the kids. It's now become an office as well. So he's got full time now, he's down here working at this desk, looking out at the garden. He's got that compartmentalization of home and work, and he said even today that his energy levels, his own energy levels, are actually higher at the end of the day than they were before when he was staring at a wall all day. So having something like this really makes a difference to your mental health, you know. Working, we've all got busy lives, most of us work in an office now, so you know, I think it's invaluable that. There's a bit of ground discrepancy on this job, so to deal with that, we've created I think it's only 600, but they didn't want to encroach too much on the lawn, so we created this nice little entrance deck just to step up into the building. It's the usual kind of treated subframe. We've got concrete spurs, which are actually fence post spurs that we use as stilts. So it's all concrete in contact with the ground as opposed to timber, so there's no chance of it kind of rotting. And it's faced with a lovely Balau hardwood, so a yellow Balau hardwood deck board, which comes from the far east. It's a exotic timber, and it's been oiled as well. So we've given that 2 coats of oil post installation. It's fixed with stainless steel lost head screws, so over time the kind of wood will cover these screws over, but yeah, we're very pleased with that. This side we've got one of our secret doors, as you might have seen in another video, with the 4 stainless steel hinge setup. Little sill here just for the drip. We have to have that for rain, otherwise you'd end up with a bit of a puddle inside, and we don't want that. Nice little Euro lock. Again, the FD30 fire door is a blank, and then a nice insulated storage space. OSB lined. Should be a light on the wall. Let's turn that light on. There we go. Little batten light. So as we go round the back, so this is the other gable end. So box profile anthracite grey sheeting all the way up this gable end, and then it returns round that side. So the usual boundary walls are clad with this. We've got a double water butt system here, so each side of the roof has a gutter system that runs into these butts with a anti-leaf sort of filter here. It doesn't take very long to fill these butts up because obviously the roof surface is vast, so all of that rainwater, you know, one dump and these are effectively full. So we've got some runoff here that goes underground and actually irrigates this row of young trees here, so it's kind of multi-use. It's working quite well, so all of those are getting nice fresh rainwater off this roof, which is quite cool. Follow me around the back. We've got our power going in here, so big whisker box, big fat gland, and this armoured cable runs all the way up the garden into the house. I think there was about 100 metres of this on this job, so lots and lots of cable. We've got RJ45 back to back with this whisker box here, so armoured Cat5 cable here, again running underground and then up the boundary all the way up to the house. So just a little bit more detail on this roof. So we pre-cut all of our 8x2 rafters. We've got them at 400 centres from end to end. Obviously we then had to create our gable ladders to create the overhang on each gable end. The rafters are then, they connect to a ridge at the top, which is a structural ridge, which is made from 2 LVL timbers, which span the whole length, 7.1 metres and a little bit more for the gable ends. That is I believe, I think it's 300 mil deep by 90 mil. So it was 2 LVLs bolted together. What we'll do is we'll stick some construction photos up in this video as well, so you can kind of see how the skeleton of the roof and how it went together. Within those rafters we've got our 100 mil PIR insulation. We actually created a neat little jig for this, so we could just cut again and again at the right angle. So we've got a lovely junction between the ridge where we've got a nice angle cut on our insulation all the way down to the eave as well, so it's nice and airtight. Obviously our structural beams, we've got 2 of them in there, and then our partition wall that goes from front to back here is then keeping those walls together, so it's a structural partition doing something at the same time. On top of the roof we've got breather membrane, and then we've got our sort of purlins that go across the top, and that's what we've screwed our anti-condensation sheets into. And what I mean by that is all of these pieces of box profile have got a fleecy backing to them, so then we don't get any condensation drip inside the roof. If that ever did happen, we've got the water can run down the membrane and then come out this end into the gutter. Everything's vented as well, so at the eave we've got sort of foam baffles that have grates in them, so then the airflow can go up all of these little crowns and flow up over the ridge and back down the other side. So we've got a cold airflow going all the way across the roof underneath that ridge cap at the top. Thanks for checking out this mega pitched roof garden room build here in Worcester Park. Check out our other content, visit our channel, visit our website, and get in touch if we could potentially build something like this just for you.